Buying a house is an absolute amazing accomplishment, but you must have your personal credit in order before doing so. In this episode, I'm going to talk about how to build credit to buy a house. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. In this video, I'm going to show you multiple steps to build up your credit so that you can buy a house for the best interest rate possible. All right, first, let's talk about the number one thing that our grandparents and our parents told us never to get, and that is a credit card. And I want you to think of Dave Ramsey right now and close that door. So credit cards are what allows us to build up credit. One, I want you to think, do you have a credit card currently? And if you don't, you need to get one. And number two, if you do have a credit card, if you've got a balance on it, shame on you. No, I want you to pay that thing down as absolute fast as possible. Preferably is get that thing down to like a $0 limit as quick as possible. Now, I'm not saying close that credit card. You never want to close your credit cards because it doesn't look good on the credit bureaus. So let's just say that you have a credit card that you got $1,000 limit and you got $999.99 on that actual balance. I want you to pay that thing down as fast as humanly possible. Even if you have to go out and start doing Uber and DoorDash and Instacart and working 3 other jobs, I want you to pay that thing down, and I want you to have a goal of paying that thing off in the next 30 days. Even if you have to send, $100 a day to that thing for the next 9 days to get that thing paid down, do it as fast as possible, because most of the time you never want to be about 50% over the available limit on a balance. So for instance, if you got a $1,000 credit card, you want to be less than $500 ever owed on that balance for more than 30 days. So here's the thing. The credit bureaus see this. They see that you are a responsible steward of credit and you get that thing paid off and you got $1,000 available to you and you haven't tapped into it. Or maybe you are only using a little bit each month and you're paying it off each month. That shows you are responsible and you're a good steward of credit. Next, remember I talked about not closing the credit cards and not carrying a balance for more than like 30 days. I want you to figure out when the annual fee is due on these credit cards. Most of the time, credit cards will have something called an annual fee. Like for instance, my Amex is like, I think $499 a year. And that is one I have not successfully gotten them to remove. But every time they charge this annual fee, I call up the credit card company and I say, hey, I think there was a mistake. I don't pay annual fees. And they say, yes, you actually signed up. It says it's $79 a year, blah, blah, blah. I say, no, that's a mistake. I don't pay annual fees. I'd like to either close this card or can you please just remove that annual fee? And 9 out of 10 times, they will absolutely remove that annual fee. And like I said, the only one I've not been successful on was my Amex Platinum. So that annual fee is a thing that you can get waived quite a bit, but I also want you to create a calendar reminder of when that annual fee comes up, because if you're so used to not having a balance on this card, on these credit cards, you can go for months without knowing that that annual fee has been charged, and then you get 3 or 4 months behind, and now you have backslid. You don't want that to go against your credit. Like if you have a 30-day late and that's reported to the credit bureaus, it really is like a kind of hard ding. It's a negative ding on your credit score. So set calendar reminders of when these things are due and call the credit card company and say, excuse me, I think you made a mistake. I don't pay annual fees. Can you please remove it? And be as kind as possible. Remember, the customer service department is used to dealing with angry, upset, pissed off people. I want you to be the change you want to see in the world. I think, Buddha or Gandhi or somebody said that. But be the positive person that you'd want to talk to. Imagine talking to your 4-year-old daughter. I want you to talk to these people with the kindness that you would show to your 4-year-old child and make their day a delight. Make them just want to talk to you on the phone and be that person. Be so kind, be overextensive kind. It's almost like when you walk up to the desk or the counter at a rental car place after a long night's travel, a red eye, and everyone's mad and just taking it out on that person at the front desk. You want to be extra kind and share with them the kindness and just thank them for being there in the middle of the night and renting you that car and see what happens. You might end up getting that upgrade for nothing. Next is personal debt or car loans. I want you to start paying extra. I want you to pay more than the minimum agreed upon payment. Let's just say your payment for your car is $289 a month. If you can pay $389, you're gonna accomplish two things. One, you're gonna pay that car off way faster and save, I almost said property there, by the way. You're gonna save a lot of money in interest, but you're also gonna show those credit bureaus that you are once again a great steward of personal credit. So all these little things really add up when building that credit score to buy your own home. Now, open available accounts like balances, like for instance, I've got a Home Depot card and I think I started out with like $1,000 or $2,000 available credit, and I've used it for multiple years with my house flipping company. Well, now I think, and this is nothing like to boast about, I think we're up to like $15,000 available now. But let me tell you, there's a balance of $0 on it. So sometimes we'll run it up really quick, and what's really cool about Home Depot is if you do a big enough charge, like they will give you interest free for almost 2 years. So it's like free money. And then we pay it right back off. And when we pay it off, we usually request an increase in our available limit. And that shows right there, each time we get that increase, we've got more credit available to us that we haven't used. And if we do it for that 24 months with 0% interest, we will make sure that we pay it off way faster than that, because we don't want to have that balance like weighing us down on our personal credit. But just something like that, increasing those balances on each one of your cards once it's paid off, is one way to build up your personal credit to be able to buy that home very soon. I don't ever want you trying to request a balance increase when you have a maxed out card, a credit card, because that just shows desperate, like you're desperate for the money and they're probably not going to give it to you. And it's also going to show a negative against your score. Now, let's just say that you're home shopping or mortgage shopping or car shopping. You want to do it in batches. You want to actually batch it up with the same amount of time. So if you're running your credit multiple times, multiple increase, you want it in that same day for that same type of product, whether it be a boat or a car or a house. Those are 3 different type products. That way that shows the lender that, okay, they were just shopping for a loan for that mortgage that day or that week. I would say after about a week's time frame, stop the increase, because increase also hurt your credit score as well. All right, next is more of an advanced method. But a lot of credit cards will allow you to get a second card, or say for an assistant or a wife or a child. With my company, we use American Express, and we've been able to get my assistant a credit card, both my acquisition managers a credit card. Well, this is actually building their credit because they're using the good credit from my company since 2002 to build their own personal credit. So that is an absolute advanced way to start building your credit very quickly if you don't have any credit, by getting a secondary card on someone else's account or a signer. And here's the thing, when you talk to this person about this, so it could be your father or your mother, they can get you a very low amount that you can spend on it. Like you can put it down to like $1 a month. But here's the thing, you get the benefit of their long-standing good credit history. Now, let's just say they have a bad credit history. You can also get the benefit of that too. So you want to make sure who you're doing this with, that they've got a very good long-standing relationship with that company. A lot of people won't go for this, but it's another advanced way to really boost your credit score very quickly. So to sum it up, you want to pay things down very quickly. You want to have available amounts, and you want to pay things faster than what you've actually agreed to pay them. And the last and final tip that I have for you is never co-sign on a loan for anybody unless it's like your spouse or your partner. Now, I mean, maybe like an exception is for your child. So it says in the Bible, never be a signer on someone else's debt, because that further obligates you for if they don't pay that debt. So you have to be prepared to pay that debt for them if they don't pay. So that's one of my tips, is don't be a co-signer for anything unless it's like a spouse or a child, and you must be prepared to pay it if they don't. All right, guys, I hope this is valuable information. It's helping you out a lot. Definitely smash that subscribe button, because I've heard it actually boosts your credit score by 1 point every time you do it. And then if you hit the like button and comment, that's an extra 2 more points on your credit score immediately. Guys, hopefully you liked this video. Check out my other video on the best investments for 2022 for beginners.